Hi everybody, I'm really excited to have David Creasel with us today for the Moment with the Mayor from the Optimist Club and Richfield resident to talk a little bit more about the work of the Optimist Club and their great contribution that they recently gave to our Universal Playground. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Could you share a little bit more about the work of the Optimist Club and what your goals and your vision and your values are?
Well, the Optimist Club in Richfield was established in 1958, so we've been around 62 years. Optimist International has been around for over 100 years last year in 2019. Our whole objective of existing is fundraising for children. Friend of Youth is what our mission statement is. So we try to, our club primarily in Richfield, we try to do as many service-oriented activities as we can. Again, we're dealing with youth. Majority of it is fundraising. How can we help various organizations within the cities, the schools, other nonprofits, that kind of thing.
And I know last week the Optimist Club donated $2,500 to our universally inclusive playground. Can you share a little bit about why you were motivated to donate to that project? That's such a generous gift and we greatly appreciate it. But what was your reasoning for supporting that project?
Well, I'm currently the president. I became president back in October last year. And at the same time, it coincided with the Parks and Recs guide coming out, and I saw a little blurb that this was in the works to do the universally inclusive playground. And I have been in the Optimist since 2013, and I was kind of looking I said this would be the ideal project to establish a legacy within the community, to show that we exist, and to this again fits into our mission statement perfectly, to Friend of Youth, to have something. But and after I called Amy Markle, the Recreation Services Director, and she, if you've never met Amy, she's very enthusiastic, and this is a great project, and it just ties in perfectly with what we do, and will leave a legacy for residents of Richfield. We got in on the trunk level, and we'll see, we'll be recognized by that by a signage that'll be in as you enter.
Well, that is a very generous donation, and our community really does appreciate that contribution from the Optimist Club. Thank you for that. Could you share a little bit more about other projects that you've supported in the past in our community?
Well, like I mentioned before, youth are obviously in the school system. And so we try to do a lot of projects connected with the school system. I started, my vision to connect with all the PTOs, the PTSOs, and the advisory group for the middle school and all the various elementary schools in Richfield. I found the PTOs were a perfect venue for finding out what is needed in the schools. I'm impressed. They're all very organized, the PTOs, and they have a mission. And so again, that dovetailed into what we do. That's relatively new to establish that connection. We've had, for a long time, we've given scholarships to Richfield seniors. This year we granted 3 $1,000 scholarships. Our biggest revenue fundraising project is the Avenue of Flags. If you are a Richfield resident, this past 4th of July, there were 605 flags put out throughout the city of Richfield. We have partnered for several years with both the Boy Scout Troop 262 and the Girl Scout Troop River Valleys, which we couldn't do it without their help. It's a win-win for both of our organizations because the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts are youth, and they do the placement and retrieval, and we compensate them. Those were the two biggie ones. We have a junior Optimist program that's in the high school and the middle school. That's where we have an advisor, kind of like an extracurricular activity that if they want to participate, they can do that, and we support that. I mentioned the various, again, doing the school system, primarily the elementary schools. And then we also have done, we're not like a sports booster club, but we do give money to community-oriented, like fast pitch softball. We've given to the Richfield Southwest hockey team, and the swimming team, we've supported them. So we request that they come and ask us for us. There's also a large group of Young Life within Richfield, and we support that. Those are, I mean, I can go on with a long list, but those are the ones that come to mind.
That's amazing. There's so many things that you're doing in our community, and I love the connection. It really is an intergenerational connection between the Optimist Club, our youth, and their families. So lastly, we know COVID has had such a huge impact on our communities. What has been the impact of COVID on the work of the Optimist Club?
Well, with trying to draw a connection to youth, that's like shut the door. It's very hard because we don't know what's happening in the school systems per se. We can't meet as a club, we can't meet, so we have become very adept at learning Zoom.
Right.
But it's disrupted what we're trying to do as a mission. It does not affect our fundraising. That's the Avenue of Flags is kind of isolated just of the nature of it. It works well in this environment. We have to kind of start thinking outside the box. We're a service organization, and some people belong to the club just for the camaraderie. Optimism is to share good things that are happening in our life. We're positive about life in general, and so we're in this stage where we've got to seek out new. I don't want to use Star Trek, but seek out, boldly go and find new venues that we can serve the community and the youth.
Absolutely. And lastly, how can people find out more about the Richfield Optimist Club?
The easiest way is to go to our website, Richfield Optimists, that's plural, can't hear under the mask, so richfieldoptimists.org. That has information about the club, what we do, who we give money to. If you want to participate in the Avenue of Flags and support our group, that's also part of on the website there.
Great. Thank you so much for joining me, David, and thank you for all the work that you're doing as a part of the Optimist Club.
Thank you.
Thanks.